Hey YouTube, friends, I just wanted to let you know I'm reposting the fundraiser, the Give, Send, Go for Janice DJ channel, our friend there, and she does great work. And we've had the fundraiser going for a while, and I'm really happy with the result, and thanks to everybody. Um, I just know there's probably some people who haven't even seen it because another time I posted it in the community section. I'm not sure how many people even know about that, but I've known Janice for a couple of years as a friend, and we definitely have talked a lot about her situation. It's very real. She's very genuine. It's very serious. It's debilitating. It's complex. People with complex issues sometimes don't get the best help in the normal system. Um, so she's researched things that are more currently being used, some newer treatments and such. But she's a great researcher, as you probably know from listening to her videos. And so she's hoping to just increase the quality of her life because with multiple sclerosis, it's very low. And I love her writing, explaining to people what it is like and what the different things are that they deal with. Because even though most people have heard of it, I think a lot of people don't really know how much it entails and how debilitating it can be and painful. So thanks to everybody who helped before. We're going to probably have this up for a while longer, maybe a couple months more, but I'm going to post the link in the description. God bless you all. Thanks a lot. And now I'll go on with the video. Okay.
What can I do for you?
Well, I had read on jw.org in the news section, there's been some controversy with Norway about possibly being deregistered as a religion. They give them grants and funding along with all the other official religions or whatever. And now they're actually deregistered again, but I can't find the update on that at jw.org. Do you know where I could read about it?
Oh boy, I sure don't. No, I'm sorry, I sure don't. I didn't know that they deregistered again. I thought everything had been straightened out.
Yeah, that means they can't do weddings and they have to pay like 200 something thousand, for the fees about that last cases and stuff like that. So I know they're going to contest it, but do you know the reasons why they're doing that?
No, I guess I'm not on top of that. I guess I don't. I'm just at the Kingdom Hall doing a service meeting, so I'm not an official.
Yeah, what I was reading about was it's because the shunning, the severe shunning, and also because they, and this goes for all religions, they don't want any of them to get children to make a lifelong commitment to an organization when they're underage, which the Jehovah's Witnesses do.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think those are legitimate concerns?
That's part of it, but you look at other religions, they baptize infants.
Yeah, but they don't shun when people leave. I don't know of any of them that do that. Yeah. They look at baptism as a little bit differently, but I was just wondering if you personally think those are legitimate things. You know what else I noticed about the news section? They don't have any of the negative stuff like the payouts on child sexual abuse, lawsuits that they lose, the Australia Royal Commission investigation, which they were one of the groups.
There really isn't too many cases that they do lose. That's one of the things.
Yeah, there's a lawyer that. Yeah, a lawyer who doesn't.
There are issues. I mean, there are issues. There are people. People are people. They might be Jehovah's Witnesses, but they're still people, and people make mistakes.
Well, as far as the child sexual abuse, it's not a matter of a random, rogue people. It's a matter of their policies that they've had for many, many years and still actually have the 2-witness rule that it doesn't need to be investigated by them or whatever unless there was 2 witnesses. And one of the officials said on video, they will never change it. And
well, that's true, but they have excuse me, they have changed their view. Matter that the police should be involved. They involve the police now.
Well, that's disputed by people because the first instruction they give them is to call the branch, and some states don't require mandatory reporting. And also, they say in court cases they should get clergy exemption. And there's so many quotes in their literature that they don't have clergy, which is kind of interesting. Also, but the thing is that in January they posted something about Norway that the deregistering was able to be put off for now, But then, as far as what just happened, I think it was at the end of April, they don't have an update on it still. That now they are deregistered.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. I mean, most outsiders would consider if they don't put the negative news up, it's kind of a propaganda section on jw.org because many witnesses are conditioned to not trust any other news.
Yeah.
So anyway.
What you're saying is true, but like I said, it's like everybody, it's their own conscience. People should listen to what the world's saying. They need to know what's going on.
Oh, definitely.
This world is short, and I guess I got to admit that there are some that won't listen to the news, won't listen to anything else. And this the world that we're living in. I guess you can see their point too.
Yeah,
all the scams and all the lies.
Oh, definitely. I don't trust all media either, and I think some of the media is propaganda, just like the JW.org news, where they only
you look at the political.
Yeah.
Look at the political.
Yeah, they only show one side.
You got one news station has a story one way, and the other news station has a story completely opposite.
Yeah, right.
They both can't be right.
Right, but the organization, they have actually had articles against what they call independent thinking. And what you're saying is independent thinking, which I think is really good. And they tell other people examine your religion, but they're definitely not open to any examination. They just call it debating.
They tell us to test. They tell us to test. Always test.
Yeah. Have you tested them by their
test your religion? You should ask questions.
Should you also?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Have you tested from the past history and the failed predictions in the name of Jehovah and the appointment of 1919? Have you tested that?
Failed. I don't know if there's failed predictions.
You don't know about it?
When something doesn't happen, like they said, there's a reason. It's probably their fault. They didn't understand it right.
They don't put out their information as possible understanding. They put it out as spiritual food at the proper time from Jehovah. That's the problem with that. They're not just a person.
Can I ask you, are you an apostate?
What, from Christ, you mean?
No, are you apostate? Did you used to be a witness?
Oh, no.
Are you a witness now?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a witness of...
Go ahead.
I'm a witness of Jesus. He said, you shall be my witnesses in Acts 1:8. I like to talk about Jesus and the gospel, and I like to talk about theology with different people. So,
Jesus, you got to understand that Jesus was God's son. And Jesus has a place in our heart. There's no doubt. He died for our sins. We'd have no hope if we didn't have Jesus. But Jesus has a place too. His Father is the Almighty God.
Yeah, he has kind of an incidental place. He just the ransom, appreciating the ransom. That was just something Charles Taze Russell came up with. No other Christians defined the ransom as their extensive explanation. He wanted to everybody to have a second chance, and that's what that has to do with. The ransom is the opportunity to be resurrected again in perfect conditions and be on trial for 1,000 years, and that's never been believed by any Christians. Ransom simply means to set free by paying a price, and Jesus was the price to set us free, not to give us another chance, not to. That's why Jehovah's Witnesses have no assurance that they are saved, born again, washed in the blood of Jesus, justified, which means declared righteous, because they also made up this thing about two classes of Christians,
The what now?
Well, the two-class system, those that are born again, are justified, meaning declared righteous, adopted as God's children, and the other group, which is most of Jehovah's Witnesses, who get benefits.
We talk about the anointed and the great crowd.
Right.
The anointed are the 144,000 that's noted in Revelation 7 and 14. The 144,000, and they'll be going. They will be taken to heaven, and they will rule as kings and priests. Well, who are they going to rule over? Well, that's a great crowd that's going to be on the earth. That's what the majority of witnesses are.
Did you know that in 1919, when Jesus chose the organization as the only true religion, they believed the great crowd was a heavenly class? They didn't. Yeah. Okay. So there's things
through history that are corrected.
But Jesus chose them as the true religion, as the only true religion. They've never preached their material as the current understanding. They preach it as meat in due season from Jehovah. In a recent video, they said the direction comes from Jehovah to Jesus to them. That's why they're called channel. That's what they're channeling. So you can't keep talking in that way, that it was just their understanding. And Jehovah's Witnesses must accept the entire range of teachings, which they said in writing. When Jesus chose them in 1919, they believed Jesus had already come in 1874.
Could be. I'm not.
Well,
I'm
they
not
taught.
A history buff, so.
Well, you said you believe in examining, and I think that would be a really good place to start. Is what proof do they really have that Jesus chose them in 1919, and did they write about it right away, or did that come up later?
Guess I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting thing. It's important.
Yeah, well, if I get time, I'll look into that, but I got to get back to my meeting right now.
Even Wikipedia has good articles on their history. Okay, hey, thanks for being so nice to me. God bless you.
Okay, you have a great day.
You too. About some things that were happening in Norway with the organization. I was real interested in that. And they had something in January was the last news that they had about that topic that I can find. But there was a really big news in April that they're officially deregistered as a religion in Norway right now, and they had to pay $25,000 because they had challenged some aspect of that. And they can't even do weddings, and they don't get the government grants now that most religions get, that they were getting also. I just wondered why they didn't update that, because that's an update to what they posted about something, from January on this topic. And can you help me find any information about that update?
I can help you find that information.
Great.
I do remember reading that initial article, and why I do know the department that. Can I take down your name and number and call you back? And there is a department that handles updated news information, and they may be working on that update, because you might see that it is updated quite frequently.
The thing is, there's so many topics that have been in the news that are not on the news section, like really big things, like some of their huge payouts, lawsuits, the Australia Royal Commission on Child Sexual Abuse. I mean, I'm not a witness, and I even know about that, and that's not on there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We have a department that handles. I'm not in news media. I'm not in the. Mm-hmm. I don't work in that department, but I can. Can I take down your name and number and have someone call you and that are in the news?
No, I was just wondering why, like, what a witness would think about that if you realize that they don't.
I see that.
Yeah.
I know it is meant to, be encouraging to know, like, what our brothers and sisters are experiencing worldwide. As one of Jehovah's Witnesses, I do appreciate, the fact that, we're a worldwide brotherhood. And so we, just like in any family, we appreciate knowing what's going on, in our worldwide family, which is, unlike many religions today. We're international, and so the scope of why certain, there's just
no, it's not just certain ones. It's all that are negative, and the problem is that
I do appreciate your concern.
Yeah, the question is also what you're saying, that it's to be encouraging.
It's not geared.
Yeah, the problem about that is that Jehovah's Witnesses seem to me to be conditioned to only believe what's on the news section of jw.org as far as news. And they're taught that everything else is false.
Well, that is, I do appreciate your concern about that matter.
Yeah.
I'm within the congregation of many witnesses, and I don't know how many witnesses that you have surveyed, but among our congregations, that doesn't seem to be the sense of what they're getting. So we don't discourage people watching the news. That's not discouraged. And obviously there's many news outfits that are going to put out, but we do encourage people to look at where the information is coming from, and there's and they can pick and choose. None of us are given like, I'm going to say Associated Press, which is a great source of information, but just because it's so general. So not to quote me, but just what we are never told, like, don't log into WXYZ people, where we are a Bible-based organization, so we're encouraged to use our power of reason. So,
well, actually, there's been articles.
We will watch.
Excuse me, just for a second.
No,
there's actually.
You're interrupting.
Well, I bet you've been going on for so long. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
I tend to be a little worried. I do appreciate your concern.
Yeah.
If you would like me to write down your name and number?
No, thanks. I just wanted to see what witnesses thought about that.
Thank you.
Actually, there is articles against independent
thinking. If you want to know what the witnesses know in general, you can call our branch, and our branch would be able to give you. They would be able to give you a sense of what is taking place worldwide.
Have you seen their articles?
You called a small town congregation, and so you couldn't expect that someone answering the phone is going to know the feel of the entire organization.
Yeah. Have you seen the articles that?
If you want to
talk about interrupting. Have you seen the articles that talk against independent thinking? The Kingdom Hall?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I just had a quick question I was wondering if someone could help me with, if you have a minute.
I got a brief minute. What you got?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm trying to get more information about why Norway took away funding from Jehovah's Witnesses. I can't really find anything on jw.org. Can you tell me any more about that?
Yeah, it was something that, from my understanding on that, was the government felt like that we weren't one of the religions because of the way they looked at us. They've got a good video on that.
That why they lost their funding? There's a video about that?
Yeah.
Oh, can you you send me the link? Because I searched Norway and only one thing came up that was just old news from January.
Yeah. Are you one of our sisters?
No, I'm just trying to learn more about it. What this one website said as to why in this news story, it said that it's because they have certain qualifications for groups that get the funding, and some of the things they can't do, the organization does. Like it says they can't receive the subsidies if they force people to remain members. And they're talking about shunning, the threat of shunning, losing your whole family, and they can't ban interactions with non-members. They found a lot of evidence for that. And they can't make children pledge a lifelong commitment to them, to their organization or religion. And, when kids are baptized, they specifically say to the organization in the questions,
It sounds like you're up on it.
Yeah, so that's...
I wish I could give you more, too.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think about those things, their concerns?
Yeah, no, I think they reverted back and gave us our status back, from what I understand.
No, that was in January. Now it's a done deal here. So that's why I couldn't find anything. So this is a little more recent. They were challenging it, I know. Huh?
Are you doing a thesis or something?
No, just research. Concerned citizen. What was your opinion of those things they're stating here in this news article?
I'd have to look at it.
I just read.
I gotta run.
Oh, okay. And it's really interesting that one of the officials, William Hendricks, I think is his name, or Robert Hendricks, he said in a news article in 2022 that they don't shun. And you can actually look up the word shun on the online library, and they do shun. So I'm not sure why he said that. It's really strange. Do you want the link to that article where he said they don't shun?
You know what? I'll look for it. I understand where you're coming from. So let me get back with you later.
Oh, okay. That'd be great.
Later, okay?
That'd be great. Thanks so much. God bless. Bye. If you knew about or had any comment on the defunding of Jehovah's Witnesses in Norway, I was just reading about it in the news.
No, I don't. We have the organization has a department that handles that, a news department. You can go on to the jw.org website, and that will provide you with information.
Well, I tried, and I typed in Norway, and it's just old news that's on there about Norway from January. Do you know
there should be contact information there as well.
Do you know why they defunded them?
I do not.
Okay, I can just tell you they won't allow the funding to, and this is they have deemed from their research and hearings, they won't fund groups that force people to remain members by threatening shunning and things like that. They can't ban interactions with non-members, and they can't make children pledge a lifelong commitment to the religion.
Thank you for that. I don't need to know that. Thank you.
You don't? Yes, you do. You can be responsible for. Hello?